Welcome back to another episode of Goat-Worthy Reactions, where we mainly like to focus on the goats on this channel. And hey, we're continuing this Making-A-RENegade. Hold on, let me just explain that really quick. I'm gonna keep these intros short. Don't worry, because I know YouTube got a short attention span. But listen. If this is your first time watching, because I see a lot of comments, this is always their first time watching. So this is your first time watching and you're a Renegade or you're a big Ren fan. I've started a documentary series that I'm doing on YouTube as well as on Patreon. It's called Making-A-RENegade. It's a spinoff to Making a Stand. I started a documentary with my wife where I'm turning her into a stand. So I'm a stand already. I'm turning my wife into a stand. And now the Renegades out there, the Ren fans out there are trying to turn me into a Renegade. You know what I'm saying? And they're doing a really good job at it. So as of right now, this is now episode 8. So Genesis is going to be episode 8 of that series. We got 2 more episodes coming after this. If you want to catch the entire full season, which is 15 episodes, sign up for the Patreon. See what you like over there. If you want to join for free, just check out what I got posting. And if it's worthy, come join. Take that step. You know what I mean? If you can afford it, take that step. You know what I'm saying? And join the family, man. It's a great community out there, and we have a lot of fun, a lot of open dialogue, and it's just a bunch of like-minded people talking about shit that they appreciate, artists that they appreciate, right? So anyways, let's get it. We got REN Genesis. I'm glad we got a video.
When I'm by myself, I find my mind starts drifting somewhere else. It's not inside this dimension, it's definitely somewhere else. I wrestle with my thoughts, constant wrestle with my mental health. I'm put on life support, I've been put upon a higher shelf. My whole life I've been fighting. This cake, it don't have icing. These mantras I'm reciting, they're meant to keep me sane. I don't know if they're working, cerebral cortex hurting. Maybe it's learning. Maybe it's cause life is a lottery, once an anomaly. Sometimes it's riches and sometimes it's poverty. Sometimes your nerves have been fried by your property, begging the surgeon
turn it up.
Honestly, I'ma speak honestly. Life is ironically fucking me chronically. I have been ill in myself and it bothers me. License for killing myself, call me Connery. I'ma be straight with you now. I'ma go straight for the heart. People dilate in the dark. People dilate in the dark. Never was late for the art. Never was late for the art. Genesis
yes,
rain in the rain with a start. Genesis pain in the art. Genesis aim for the heart. Genesis.
I love the feel of this song right here.
When I'm by my
Genesis, hey, yo, I love the feel of that, man. Yo, hold on. Look, I really want to pay attention this time. Let's run it back one more time. My bad. Let's run it back one more time. My bad. I know people hate, yo, I always run it back, man. I can't help it. I got to get another feel for that. One more. I love that drop. He said, no, it was late to the arc. No, it was late to the
when
arc.
I'm by myself, I find my mind starts drifting somewhere else.
Else's.
Not inside this dimension, it's definitely somewhere else. I wrestle with my thoughts, constant wrestle with my mental health. I'm put on life support, I've been put upon a higher shelf. My whole life I've been fighting. This cake, it don't have icing. These mantras I'm reciting, they're meant to keep me sane.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're working. Cerebral cortex hurting.
Okay.
Maybe it's all learning. Maybe it's cause life is a lottery, once an anomaly. Sometimes it's riches and sometimes it's poverty. Sometimes your nerves have been fried by your property, begging the surgeon to have a lobotomy. I'ma speak honestly. Life is ironically fucking me chronically. I've been ill in myself and it bothers me. License for killing myself, call me Connery. I'ma be straight for you now. I'ma go straight for the heart. People dilate in the dark. People dilate in the dark. Never was late to the arc. Never was late for the arc. Genesis rain in the rain with a start. Genesis pain in the arc. Genesis aim for the heart. Genesis.
Hey, this shit. It's crazy that he takes these topics and makes bangers out of them. Cause like this I'm driving to this right here. Like this is what I've noticed, that a lot of hit songs outside of the trilogies, this is already my favorite Ren track. And it's only verse 1. I don't know if there's 3 verses or 2 verses on here, but I got the lyrics pulled up. So I didn't even read along this time, but I am gonna be reading along moving forward. But yeah, so I like that he takes these serious topics, right, and really transforms them to like it's like he doesn't just want to make this is the real act of raising awareness to any type of topic that you're trying to speak about, right? If you're trying to open up a conversation amongst the people and you want people to have these open dialogues, you don't just make the message clear, or you don't just make the message out there. You don't just put the message out there. You have to make it digestible and listenable for the concept of relatability for those who need. It has to reach the people. It has to reach people. If you want it to reach people, make it sound good. You know what I'm saying? The sonics are just as important as the message. Of course, I favor the message. I can't have the message. I can't have the sonics without the message. Like, I don't want to just listen to good music that's talking about bullshit. Like, nah, but when it comes to good music, it has to be sonically pleasing as well. And I just think he knows what he's doing, dog. He knows he's got this shit mastered to a science. He's got it mastered to a science. So, I mean, he really sets the intro, he really sets the tone right from the drum, and he wastes no time on getting straight into the mental state, right? So when I'm by myself, I find my mind starts drifting somewhere else. It's not inside this dimension. It's definitely somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? That's when he was doing that little Migos choppy flow, right? But I feel like this is like Ren. He's like opening up about like dissociation, like, right? Like it's like, to me, well, it's a classic psychological term to where the mind disconnects from reality, and that's what he was just expressing. So to me, it's like, it's common that in people battling mental health issues or anxiety, or where they feel detached from their own surroundings, right? This is a common theme, right? So Ren is immediately letting us know he's fighting something bigger than himself, right? He's fighting something bigger than himself, man. And I can appreciate the vulnerability, you know what I'm saying, off rip, right? But something that takes him somewhere else is what he's battling, right? Which is what he was trying to express. And his mind is escaping, but not in a comforting way. So, like, we just want to escape sometimes. We want to just escape our reality. He's able to detach and do that, but when he does, it goes somewhere he doesn't want it to go. So it's not a comforting way. You know what I'm saying? So that's I want to just point that out, because we all want to escape sometimes. He's saying he can escape, but it's not for the better. It's not for the better. So when he says I wrestle with my thoughts, constant wrestle with my mental health. So this is a clear nod to his ongoing battle with his mental illness, right? So a theme that resonates with so many people, right? So many people out there is one of the reasons why Ren's fans are just so drawn to him. You know what I mean? So he's not just a rapper. He's many things. He's not just a rapper, a good musician, somebody who can make beats, somebody who plays a bunch of instruments, somebody who can do great storytelling, somebody who's very creative. He's those things. Those things are great, but more importantly, what he is above all those things, he's a truth teller. That's what we need to zone in on. And that's what I like to harp on, because these are the type of things that I appreciate from certain artists, right? So yes, his vulnerability is what makes him stand out. In the sea of artists, his vulnerability is what makes him stand out, but it's the fact that he takes truth and wraps it up in a bow. That's what's really going on here, right? So I really appreciate that about him, But I mean, a lot of artists do have this factor. They just don't make it their identity. So it's not that Ren makes this his identity. His identity is what creates the music. You know what I'm saying? And the other way around for a lot of artists, they take the music and it's almost like a mask. Like, he doesn't have a mask. He wears bare face. You feel me? Like, so I really like that. But in the first verse, man, he said, my whole life I've been fighting. This cake ain't got no icing. Like, come on, that's like Ren's way of just like saying life isn't as sweet as it seems, dog. And that's very known within the hip hop community. Like, that was his way of saying shit ain't sweet. You know what I'm saying? And he's been hustling, grinding, right? Fighting these battles, and he's trying to push through all these obstacles, but it's like the reward never comes, right? And in the hip hop world, this is a metaphor that speaks to the grind, the endless work with little to like no payoff, right? So then and I like when he says cerebral cortex hurting my he says cerebral cortex hurting, maybe it's all learning. Here he's referencing the cerebral cortex, right? And for those who are not aware, this is the part of the brain that is basically responsible for your higher level functions like thinking, decision making, and understanding. That's what your cerebral cortex is responsible for. So Ren is saying his cerebral cortex is hurting. A literal and metaphorical pain reflecting the toll that thinking about life's hardship takes on his mental health. So it's metaphorical and it's literal. You don't get that a lot from a lot of artists. That's what I like. So that's a double entendre right there. That's like a double entendre that's with using real life shit. People like to do double entendres, triple entendres, but it just be about bullshit and just be about like, oh, that means 2 or 3 things at once. But what effect does it have? Is it impactful? He does that subtly with impactful shit, I would say, right? So life is a lottery. When an anomaly. These are I know I'm not going over all the lyrics, but these are just some of the stuff that I point out that really resonated with me. So like as I was hearing them, like these are the lines that really stuck out to me. Life is a lottery. What an anomaly. Sometimes it's riches and sometimes it's poverty. Like, yeah, I feel that. He's pointing out life's randomness, right? This is real shit. It's a concept we see echo through like hip hop's history as well. Yeah, for sure. So many rappers that talk about how much life throws into how much life just throws at your circumstances, right? And how it's whether good or bad, it's most of the time, whether it's good or bad, most of the time it's beyond your control. It's beyond your control. And Ren is pointing, he's speaking to that notion right now. So the line, what I like, he says, or essentially he's saying that whether you hit it big or struggle your whole life, much of it, as much as you want to feel like responsible for most of the shit that happens in your life, much of it is out of your hands. You know what I'm saying? Much of it is out of your hands. So the line, life is ironically fucking me chronically. I felt him on that right there, right? It feels raw, unfiltered, showing how life for Ren is this constant cycle of pain, man. And I don't know, man. I could just feel him through this freaking screen. And like, because you know he ain't lying. You know it's true. You know it's true. I just started the chapters. Some of the renegades are telling me about the 8 chapters. Like, and I'm gonna go through all the chapters. I'm kind of going through chapters on my own. I don't want to document everything, right? I don't want it to look like I'm just trying to document everything about Ren. No, I want to just behind the scenes. I'm reading certain things, looking over things that just informative to me about Ren, and I'll use that information towards my next reactions, just to show you that I'm really actually digging into this shit. I'm not just out here making reactions about Ren, trying to get clout and shit. Like, nah, don't get it twisted. Much of what I do are suggestions, so it ain't about clout. I would have been jumped on the Ren clout a long time ago when I saw everybody was reacting to him. My fan base wasn't asking for it, so I wasn't doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I do what I do is what's suggested. If my fans want it, that's what I give them. And a lot of them told me to check out the 8 chapters. Like, it's not necessary for me to react to it, but the song "Troubles" at the end, which I did a reaction for. So like, yeah, we'll be seeing that. But yeah. Anyways, life is ironically fucking me chronically, right? You know it's real, and you know he goes even deeper with it though. Like, license for killing myself, call me Connery. Like, yo, I didn't want to hear that, but I feel him though at the same time. Like, I didn't want to hear. None of us want to hear shit like that. Like, I don't even like when people talk like that, but I feel him though. So he's referencing obviously the James Bond actor, the classic James Bond actor, Sean Connery. James Bond had a license to kill, but Ren flips that into something much more dark, reflecting how his mental illness can push, well, not his, but just saying, well, he is talking about his, but he's just saying in general, how mental illness can push someone to feel like they're licensed to self-destruct. That shit was deep, dog. That shit was deep. But I ain't gonna lie, this is one of my favorite hooks that he's had. This hook, it just threw me in a bop. He said, people die late in the dark. People die late in the dark. Noah was late for the ark. Noah was late for the ark. And I like it because, like y'all told me, he's not religious or whatever. Well, he doesn't follow any Christian or like anything like that. But I like how he this is not the first time he's referenced either a biblical story or a scripture of somewhat, and it lets me know that he may not subscribe to religion and all that, and that's cool, right? But at the same time, he's not completely opposed to the Bible and what the word can be, and I know he believes in God, but he just doesn't subscribe to man-made religions, and I respect that. Some people need them, and some people could look at it as something that's another thing to divide. You got to understand, there's things. It's whether you use it for good or use it for bad. That's really what it boils down to. You can't just because somebody says something doesn't mean that's what it is. Your own personal story and how you personally subscribe to certain things is what the real is. You know what I'm saying? it's about you at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It is about you because you play a part. Your complicity is a part in how everything is shaped and looked at. And that's just another, that in itself is something Ren loves to speak on, right? So the second he said, "Peoples die late in the dark. People die late in the dark." Noah was late for the ark. The idea of peoples dilating in the dark, though, it could symbolize fear or enlightenment. So darkness is a place of both terror and revelation. If you think about it anyway, right? In a hip hop context, I would say this is some real just fight or flight shit, right? That's like what he's that's the energy he's kind of presenting. So it's like to me, like, let me see. People die late in the dark. People die late in the dark. Noah was late for the ark. Genesis. Yeah, yeah, but the fact that he tied the freaking the biblical imagery with Noah missing the ark, kind of going back to missing your boat. What he said earlier, like that was a quick callback, right? But also just like missing the boat is symbolic of just being left behind. And in this case, it feels like Ren is saying, like in the chaos of the world, sometimes salvation just doesn't come. You know what I mean? That's kind of how he left me feeling after that, after those bars, right? But let's keep it going, though, man. I like the hook. I'm gonna run the hook back a little bit because I like the way the hook sound. But let's get into verse 2.
Have a lobotomy, honestly, I'ma speak honestly, life is ironically fucking me chronically. I have been ill in myself and it bothers me. License for killing myself, call me Connery. I'ma be straight with you now. I'ma go straight for the heart. People die late in the dark. People die late in the dark. Never was late for the art. Never was late for the art. Genesis rain and it rain with a start. Genesis pain in the art. Genesis aim for the heart. Genesis. When I'm by myself, I find my mind starts drifting somewhere else. It's not inside this realm of thought, it's definitely somewhere else. Wage war upon my demons, I've been knocking on the gates of hell. A heretic, a heathen, I've been screaming in this padded cell. It's pain making my pain waking, it's painstakingly cold. My soul aching, my bones breaking when holding on to control. Wrap yellow tape round the body shape, put the body in the back, zip closed. It's malignant, it's mutating, it's such a sight to behold. Let me be real for a second. Tongue is a gun, it's a weapon. Reload, blah blah blah. Beast mode, Armageddon. Let me take the wheel for a second. Hit a hoop, like Shaquille O'Neal with aggression. Regroup with a 3-point steal in succession. Switch route, but I'm making them feel the profession. Making them feel the profession. Making them feel the profession. Time is the author, the lesson. Time is a murderous weapon. Time is a curse and a blessing. Time is confined in the eye of my mind. It reminds me that life is just slipping right by. Take my piece of the pie and I'm feeding on mine.
He ain't just going to that Kendrick flow. I like it. It shows me that he's a fan of Kendrick. That just made me feel good. But what was that Kendrick flow he just did? He's like, damn, I'm trying to remember the Kendrick song. It's gonna come to me. But he's in a different bag right now, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm about to run this verse back because he's in a different bag. And I need to listen a little closer. Hold on. My bad, y'all. I had to run it back a little bit. Let's go.
When I'm by myself, I find my mind starts drifting somewhere else. It's not inside this realm of thought, it's definitely somewhere else. Wage war upon my demons, I've been knocking on the gates of hell. A heretic, a heathen, I've been screaming in this padded cell. It's pain making my pain waking, it's painstakingly cold. My soul aching, my bones breaking when holding on to control. Wrap yellow tape round the body shape, put the body in the back, zip closed. It's malignant, it's mutating, it's such a sight to behold. Let me be real for a second. Tongue is a gun, it's a weapon. Reload, blah blah blah. Beast mode, Armageddon. Let me take the wheel for a second. Hit a hoop like Shaquille O'Neal with aggression. Regroup with a 3-point steal in succession. Switch route, but I'm making them feel the profession. Making them feel the profession.
I need a pain in my eyes.
Time is the
yeah, there it goes.
Time is a murderous weapon. Time is a curse and a blessing. Time is confined in the eye of my mind. It reminds me that life is just slipping right by. Take my piece of the pie and I'm feeding on mine. Like I'm freedom in rhyme to defy my depression. I'ma be straight with you now. I'ma go straight for the heart. People die late in the dark. People die late in the dark. Never was late for the art. Never was late for the art. Genesis rain and it rain with a star.
Masterpiece.
Genesis pain in the art. Genesis aim for the heart.
Genesis. This is crazy. I'm glad I ran that back just 'cause I caught a little more. But oh man, this yeah, I heard that. I just cracked my back. This is a masterpiece, man. This right here, this song right here is a masterpiece. It really is. I'm glad I did this one first because it's got me in a real. It's got me feeling. It's got me in a certain mood where like I'm in vibe control right now, but at the same time my ears are perked and I'm just like my attention to detail. My attention to detail right now is like on 1,000. But anyways, verse 2. Second verse, Ren definitely stepped his lyrical bag up. It's shining a little brighter on this one. Not gonna front. And not to say the first one wasn't lyrical. I'm just saying he got a little more wordy with it, and it was a longer verse, and he got more in depth with things. So, wage war upon my demons. I've been knocking on the gates of hell. A heretic and a heathen. I've been screaming in this padded cell. Like, come on now. He's in the thick of a battle against his inner demon. So this imagery of the padded cell hits hard, right? So it's the raw expression of like mental illness, being trapped, screaming out, right? Fighting in the darkness, being or feeling isolated, alone. The use of heretic and heathen, that adds to like his how can I say his it's like a how do I say that? It's like rebellious, like he's always on the same shit he's always on. It's very rebellious, anti-establishment type of energy is what I'm saying. So that's always been the central of hip hop as well. You know what I'm saying? This is why like I'm relating this one because he's in his rap bag, so I'm making more of a hip hop parallel here. But that's because he's on his hip hop shit on here, and we know he has many facets to his style, but hip hop being one of them and being probably the most prominent as far as from what I've covered on him. Hip hop is his most prominent. We know he's not a jack of all trades. He's a master of all trades. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, Ren isn't he isn't playing by the rules at the end of the day, right? He's questioning the system and he's questioning both. He's questioning the system both in his mind and in society. So inner, external, right? Because he cares about the people. He's a man of the people, right? So then he switches up with the clever but almost playful wordplay, right? He's a tongue is a gun, it's a weapon. Reload, black beat dead him. So the tongue as a gun metaphor, that's a staple in hip hop right there. Hip hop pioneers like Eminem, Rakim, Nas. They've always made notions of the words being weapons to them, right? So Ren is doing the same here. So he's showing that his lyrics and his lyrics are his most powerful tools, or is his most powerful tool, his lyricism. So he doesn't need physical violence because his words are enough to take out any competition that may be in his path, and whatever his mission may be, his words are weapons. And Ren even slips in a basketball reference in there, right? He said like Shaquille O'Neal with aggression, regroup with a 3-point steal in succession. So he's just, I mean, not that Shaq got a 3-point game, but he's kind of just saying he attacks the game with that kind of aggression, and he's more like a Steph Curry from the 3-point line. So, but the sports metaphor, yeah, it just symbolizes Ren's like she's talking about his hustle, his precision. He's pulling off strategic moves. Much like Shaq dominating on the court, right? Reminding us that even in the darkest moments, he's still a tactician. You know what I mean? So time is the author, the lesson. Time is the murderous weapon. Like, oh, that might be my favorite line of the whole song. He's reflecting on time being both a teacher and a destroyer. And this is how we need to look at it. I agree. It's a familiar hip hop concept. So where time is seen as something that builds you up but can also break you down. So time is relentless, a force that's always ticking away, right? So this plays into the theme of his how do I say, like hip hop legends like Tupac or Nas, right, have always explored how time shapes who you are, and if you don't watch it, it will leave you behind, right? Kind of like what he said earlier with the Noah's Ark. So towards the end of the verse, he says, I find freedom in rhymes to defy my depression. You know what I mean? So that's this is the point of hip hop. That's actually the very essence of hip hop. That line right there kind of just puts everything in a few words, right? So a genre born from struggle, where artists similar to people like Ren, who use their art to overcome adversity. So for Ren, he's writing He's just writing a way of his writing is a way of him fighting his mental battles, right? And that's just one way of why hip hop was formed, right? That's just one thing that's one of the main reasons, but that's just one facet of the reason why people gravitate towards hip hop, or artists gravitate towards making that type of music in this type of structure, like in rap form, right? Because it's like it's a creative outlet that keeps most of us afloat, man. I'm telling you, man, that's why hip hop is so important. And it was just like what Kendrick said, man. Kendrick is calling for a change. He's calling for, and he's not calling just for a change. He's calling on us to act on it. And we all got to do it together. It's time to wipe this shit clean. We can't just bring good music and hope that good music can battle with the bad music, or positive music can battle with the negative music. No, we actually got to wipe them out. Yeah, we got to bring that good music forward. We got to keep doing what we've been doing, but we actually got to get. There's some people in the way, and we got to get them out the way. Yeah, he's calling for a wipeout, a reset, and I'm here for it. And you know what? Ren is a perfect soldier in the front line, man. He's in the front. He ain't a soldier. He's a damn lieutenant. You know what I'm saying? So this connection, his connection, or this connection between just hip hop and just mental health is really profound, man. It's really profound because it's showing that music can be more than entertainment. Right, it's damn near a lifeline for some of us, right? Because it saved many of us, right? It saved many of us. It saved me for damn sure. It saved me for sure. But anyways, overall, man, this track, masterpiece, man. This is a masterpiece on just introspection and like how can I say raw emotion, like he always does. You know what I'm saying? He's blending mental health with struggles, with his struggle. He's blending his mental health with raw emotion, but also just using just being a lyrical genius at the same time. Like I said, like the way he paints these double entendres or double meanings or whatever, he does it in a different way. He does it in a way that's impactful. Sometimes it may not be as creative as another artist may do double entendres and things like that, but those are empty bars. It's just like you made two things mean one. Cool, but where do we go? Did I learn anything though? Did I learn anything from your little cool double entendre, your little cool little trick? You know what I'm saying? It's like you got all that dribble, but can you score? You feel me? Like you got all that handle, but can you finish at the rim? You feel me? And Ren definitely finishes at the rim, or he can finish from the line. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like what he said in this song. So to me, he's just not afraid to talk about the darkness in his mind, and that is what I got to give him kudos for each and every time. So, and in doing so, man, is he often opens up what conversations, man, things that we need to keep in the atmosphere. Like we need to keep these kind of conversations, because these kind of conversations that he's opening up, they're just too ignored. Let's be for real. But he is a voice for the people who feel like they don't know how to speak on these heavy topics, whether they're a victim of it or they're associated with this illness or with this heavy topic of depression or whatever the case may be. He's making it possible for them to feel vulnerable as well and brave enough to speak on such things, right? So for me, I'm somewhat of a hip hop historian, a younger hip hop historian, but in my perspective, to me, Ren is just carrying on the tradition, man. He's using rap as a tool for personal expression and social commentary. That's what we do. And to me, his references are sharp. He's knowledgeable in hip hop, so he has respect for the craft and he has respect for the art form. That's one of my main things. One of my main pet peeves of rappers. If you're gonna rap, man, show respect, man. Show respect to the forefathers, the ones who put it here, and show respect to those who are still doing it today. Show respect, man. But like I said earlier, he's a rapper, he's a poet, he's a musician, he's talented, he's a producer, he's a visionary, he's all those things. But above all those things, Ren is a truth teller, and that's my main reason why I have so much respect for him. He's a truth teller. He's a truth teller of his truth, and he exposes the lies that we see every day. And he's brave enough to do it. And shout out to that performance, because wow, that was big. That was big. And I like that he did it. I know a lot of y'all wanted him to do Money Game 3. I think Money Game 2 was perfect for that stage. And I know he left some of those executives or those big wig billionaires sitting there and all like, hold on, who signed off on this shit? Shout out to Ren, man. Shout out to Genesis, masterpiece. I love it. I love the track. Overall, I give this track a 10. I give this track 10 goats. I'm gonna start doing breakdowns, right? And at the end, I'm gonna rate the song myself, and I'm gonna give it 1 out of 10 goats. And towards the end, you'll see what I rate it, or what kind of score I give the said song. And this song is getting a 10. 10 goats. 10 goats. Absolutely 10 goats. But 10 out of 10. Let's get it, man. This concludes today's reaction. This is REN Genesis, part of the Making-A-RENegade documentary series that I'm doing on YouTube. This has been episode 8, and look forward to episode 9 and 10 coming up. If you want to catch all 15 episodes, you can catch all 15 on my Patreon. It's a good way to support the channel. YouTube doesn't really support the channel. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's cool that you guys big it up. You guys are like the hub of what the channel could be. But at the same time, YouTube specifically, not you guys. You guys definitely support the channel. But YouTube, the establishment doesn't really, they cut too many ties with reactors, man. We can't really make none. Shout out to REN for being one of those artists who actually shares he actually allows you to monetize it. So I mean, you share monetization with him, which to me is more than enough. Like, shout out to him for doing that. He's like he's the only artist that I've seen has done that. That's never happened before on any of my reactions. So shout out to REN, and yeah, we out, man.